Hello everybody watching out there on YouTube, and welcome to race number 29 / chase race number 3 of Season 10 NNSCRA Walmart Cup Series action. I am Levi McIntyre, a.k.a. ThrashManiac99, the voice of NNSCRA Walmart Cup Series, here to welcome you to the Survivor Series 300 at Thornton Raceway, where we're getting set to go 3 laps of racing at the biggest track on the schedule and the toughest track on the schedule. So this is going to be quite exciting, especially because, as you can tell, we are at a brand new repaved Thornton. So we're going to see how this is in comparison to the old Thornton we used for many seasons. But before we look at the lineup, let's look and see how the chase standings look coming into the race today. So coming in today, after last week's phenomenal race at Kentucky, Jesse said he took the points lead over by 18 points over Connor Morgan, 22 over Michael Norman, 23 over Steven Guerrero, 24 over Seth Cole, 27 Tim Walsh, 34 over Charles Sanford, 38 over Dylan Young, 42 over Joshua Collard, 43 over Matt Skoenberger, 51 over both Pichu London and Matt McIntyre, and 63 over Austin Mongold. So certain drivers like Pichu London, Matt McIntyre, and Austin Mongold are going to have a lot of work to do in order to get themselves back into the hunt. But let's look at the lineup. Starting in the last row is Team Heel Motorsports teammates Chase Oliver and chaser Matt Skoenberger. Top 10, Sean Henley is on the pole. Next to him is his teammate and chaser Seth Cole. Row 2 is chaser Connor Morgan and Jessica Sheldon. Row 3, Johnny Gardner, David Rivera. Row 4, James Quall, Sean Galligan. And then row 5, chaser Michael Norman and Marco Martinez. So with that said, let's get the command to fire engines for the Survivor Series 300 at the brand new Thornton.
Drivers, start your engines.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize again. So like I said, this is going to be interesting because, like I said, this is a brand new repaved version of Thornton, but everything about this track is still going to be intriguing. The turn of death, trouble spots, and the whole 9 yards. Cars kind of separate a little bit getting together, but they shall get back together here in just a moment, as it's time to boogity 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 go racing. And since this is a big track, I won't worry about being silent on lap 1 since it's such a big track. Oh, and already we got trouble. Who's around? Pichu London, a chaser's gone around. Tough break for the 17 car. Matt Skoenberger, another chaser, getting slowed up because of all this, and he had to literally squeeze through as Preston Plord teleported to pit road. Oh, Charles Sanford, another chaser involved in something. I think he hit that into the guardrail. And who's this on pit road? Jake Baskinger was apparently involved in something. Trying to look around to see what else is happening, but a lot of key contenders for the chase have been taken out so far. Sanford, London, Skoenberger. Excuse me. Back up at the front, Sean Henley has the race lead still, as a big battle for second brews on, but Johnny Gardner has that spot. Drivers trying to go every line possible to try to make something work in order to make a move. Looking around to keep an eye out for any incidents that might take place. Excuse me. And so far everything's pretty clean up here at the front. Henley with the lead. Oh, a couple cars off track. Jessica Sheldon went off track, but she's going to keep it together now. She's back on the racetrack, but lost a lot of valuable spots. And then she gets hit off track again. Who in the world went upside down? That's DJ Curtis going for a wild barrel roll. And there he is. I guess he just finally stopped. Holy cow, I just saw him go up in the air after they ramped that curve. But holy cow, that was crazy. And oh, up here at the front, Johnny Gardner, we're going to have a big wreck up here at the very front of the field. Seth Cole's involved. Connor Morgan, I think, got a little piece of it, but he's going to manage to keep it going. And that caused a lot of separation up there at the front, so now it's basically all Sean Henley's lead right now. But look at the damaged race cars. Gardner, Sullivan was involved. Trying to see who else was involved here. Tim Walsh, another chaser, was involved. Kyle Matthews was in it. Dylan Young got a piece of whatever it was. Steven Guerrero, another chaser. Man, today's just not been a good day for the chase drivers. Jessica Sheldon with more damage than she already had. Marco Martinez, really badly damaged. Dorian Facepuncher. James Shelley. Oh, we got more cars on pit road. Chris Michaels, I think that was him who got into that incident with DJ Curtis when Curtis went for that wild barrel roll. But now we got a new leader, James Qualls. Right now, the highest running chaser is Matt McIntyre, and he's up here in the hunt for the race lead. Up here with Henley and Qualls. Then the next highest running chaser is Jessie Setti, and I don't know what position she's in. Then she's got Michael Norman behind her. And then Seth Cole, Connor Morgan. And Seth Cole's got damage, so I don't know if he's going to come into pit road or not. Connor Morgan just got some scrapes on his driver's side door, but he's still up to speed. So I'm going to be curious to know what's going to happen with this, but now we are coming to the turn of death, so we're going to see if anybody's going to go flying. And whoa! Chris Washer was very, very close. Very, very close to falling off. Oh, Michael Norman! Holy cow, that would have been disastrous. Now, it looks like Seth Cole's going to try and continue. Joshua Collard, another chaser, still up here running. Right behind his teammate, Sean Galligan. Matt McIntyre led that lap, so that's a valuable bonus point for him. Whoa, Mason Bowers, Johnson Adino! Oh, there goes P.J. Williams, and Dylan Thoreau nearly fell. And he saved it, but P.J. Williams did not save it. Holy cow. Jessica Sheldon, I think, is going into pit road. Nick Alton is going into pit road. No, maybe Jessica Sheldon stayed out. Tim Walsh, who's got a lot of severe damage on his machine. Yeah, we're going to have a lot of retirees now as a result of everything that happened in the first lap. But Matt McIntyre, who's a chaser, he's right now up at the front of the field right now. And if he can come out with the win here today, he could gain a lot of ground on the points lead. So I guess since the field has been pretty much expanded out due to all the craziness, and it's really gotten interesting up here at the front. Oh, and we got another damaged car out of the race for somehow is Angel Navarro, who was running in the 5th position at the time, and now he's out of the race for some odd reason. Don't know as to what that would have been, but let's do the full field rundown since pretty much the whole field has gone single to double file. You got Matt McIntyre in the lead. Second is Chris Washer. Third is James Qualls. Fourth, Sean Henley. Fifth, David Rivera. 6th is Trent Dunham. 7th is Michael Norman. 8th, Jessie Setti. 9th, Connor Morgan. 10th is Seth Cole. And Seth Cole's got a lot of damage on his machine, but he's still able to keep it going. And he's actually battling with Connor for the 9th spot. 11th is Joshua Collard. 12th is Sean Galligan. 13th, Anthony McCrory. 14th, Matt Skoenberger. So, wow, Skoenberger managed to gain a lot of ground after getting stopped up in that first wreck. And now he might get a very solid points day. Anyways, 15th, Sky Commons. 16th, Daniel Olson. 17th, Mason Powers. 18th, Dylan Young. 9th, Dylan Thoreau. 20th, or actually 19th, I should say, it was Dylan Thoreau. 20th, Austin Mungold. 21st, Chase Oliver. 22nd, battle between Carson Gum and John Cittadino. 24th is Pichu London. 25th is Steven Guerrero, despite going into pit road and such. 27th, or actually 26th, Tanner Sullivan. 27th, Jessica Sheldon. 28th, James Shelley. 29th, Nick Alton. 30th, Kyle Matthews. And then everybody else is out of the race or just somewhere on pit road. And the cars that are on pit road are Jake Baskinger, DJ Curtis after taking a vicious barrel roll, Charles Sanford after hitting it head on into a guardrail, Chris Michaels for possibly what happened with Curtis, and then Preston Blord's still on pit road and he wasn't damaged, he just got stuck on that part of the track between the curb and the track itself. Cars out of the race include Angel Navarro, Johnny Gardner, Marco Martinez, PJ Williams, Dorian Facepuncher, Tim Walsh, and for some reason, William Duncan, even though it says he overheated, which we don't ever get that hardly, but now it's time to go through the turn of death for a second time, and we had only one driver fall off last time, and that was PJ Williams. But a couple close calls. Michael Norman came close to flying off. Dylan Thoreau came close, and whoa, Norman again nearly goes off. But he manages to keep it together. So far, here in round 2 of the turn of death, nobody's gone flying, and I think since because they're mostly single file, they're able to save it a lot better. As we are now on the final lap for Matt McIntyre, trying to get his second win this season. And it would be a valuable win for him in the points because he came in 51 points out of the points lead. Now he could end up gaining a ton of ground on points leader Jessie Setti, who is running 8th. So it's most likely that she will keep the points lead if she can keep her nose clean throughout the rest of this race. And we are on the last lap, so it's a last chance for guys like Chris Washer, James Qualls, David Rivera, Sean Henley to try to make something happen to get by the 24. And so far in this chase, we haven't had a chase driver win a race. For the last 2 weeks, it's been non-chasers winning. McCrory won last week at Kentucky, and then Tanner Sullivan won at Coca-Cola the week prior. So Matt McIntyre's trying to be the first driver in the chase to win a race during the chase. Gosh, that's a lot to say. It's like chase everywhere. And Sean Henley actually has some damage. It must have been from that little pile up with Gardner and company. And look at Skoenberger continuing to move up forward in the field. He's now 12th at the moment. The next car he sees in line is Joshua Collard, but he's a far distance ahead of him. Probably by like 5 seconds. Galligan continuing to fall back. Mongold kind of starting to slip back a little bit. Carson Gum, the same thing. So we got a majority of the field is either out of the race, damaged and not up to speed, or stuck on pit road. But back up at the front, Matt McIntyre keeping a steady lead over Chris Washer. If Washer and Qualls are going to have a shot at winning this race, they're going to have to maybe like get closer together and work in like a draft formation in order to gain a lot more speed on the 24, because there are parts of this racetrack like here that are very much slipstream worthy, because you can get together and make a draft and gain a lot more speed than the drivers ahead of you and make something work. But I don't know if they're going to be I don't know if there's going to be enough time for them to really pull that off. If they're going to be able to do that, then Washer will have to start backing off a little bit and let Qualls get to his back bumper and hope that it can work in this short amount of time they have left. But Matt McIntyre really racing this track very smart, and he's probably one of the only few cars on track that has no scrapes, no dents, no nothing on his car. Honestly, you can say that about Qualls and Washer as well. But now we're getting ready to come out of the final corners here on the last lap to determine the winner. Last shot for drivers like Washer and Qualls. Can they make any move here into this turn? Oh, Washer really dove it in deep and he gained a lot of ground, but now let's see if he can make something else work. I don't think it's going to be enough, but he's trying. As we're out of the turn of death corner, we're not going to bother to see what's going to happen. As we're getting ready to come take the checkered flag. First time in the chase, a chaser is going to win a race. Matt McIntyre wins the Survivor Series 300 at Thornton. In what was a wacky race, to say the least. But Matt McIntyre gets his second win of the season, first in the chase. And he's going to have momentum on his side when we head to the next race in the chase. In which I actually completely forgot where it's going to be at, funny enough. Texas, I believe. Yeah, it's Texas next week. But anyways, as we are still awaiting the rest of the drivers to cross the start-finish line. Alright, so a majority of the top 20 has crossed the start-finish line, so now we can do some results officially. But anyways, Matt McIntyre wins the race, so congratulations to him. Second place, Chris Washer comes out with a solid run in that spot in order to keep his car safe in the top 30 in points. James Qualls, really solid run in the third position. He had 1 point, was in the lead, and then once Matt McIntyre came up through the field and all the drama that happened up at the front on lap 1 happened, he just couldn't quite get back up there. David Rivera with a solid finish in fourth. Highest finishing rookie was Sean Henley, the pole sitter, coming out with a great run in fifth. Great run for Trent Dunham in sixth. The points leader, Jesse Setti, with a solid 7th place run, and I think she's going to keep the points lead. Michael Norman with a great run in 8th. Solid run for Seth Cole in 9th. And Connor Morgan with a great run in 10th. So 5 chasers finished in the top 10. So that's pretty good. Rest of the top 20, Matt Skoenberger, Joshua Collard, Sky Commons, Mason Powers, Anthony McCrory, Daniel Olson, Dylan Thoreau, Chase Oliver, Carson Gum, Sean Galligan. Rest of the top 30, Dylan Young, Austin Mongold, Pichu London, John Cittadino, Stephen Guerrero, James Shelley, Tanner Sullivan, Jessica Shelton, Nick Alton, Kyle Matthews. Everybody else was out of the race or still on pit road. Angel Navarro, Johnny Gardner, Marco Martinez, PJ Williams, Dorian Facepuncher, DJ Curtis, Jake Baskinger, Charles Sanford, Chris Michaels, Tim Walsh, William Duncan, and Preston Plord. Well, that does it for our coverage here today at Thornton. Like I said, next week we head to Texas for the NRA 500. And boy, what a race that's going to be. But until then, here are your results, rookie points and regular points heading into Texas. And this is Levi McIntyre signing off.
Glorious! No, I won't give in till I'm victorious. And I will defend, Glorious! No, I won't give in.